Welcome. Let's discuss about some of the developments which have been discussed in Down to Earth edition this time, 1st to 15th of June. The first one is Environment Day. So, Environment Day being celebrated on 5th of June every year. We understand the important issues related to environment. So, global warming, climate change, issues related to drinking water, sanitation, heat waves are some of the common topics that have been discussed. Now, if we talk about India as general, we would understand what are the things that government should keep on priority as we discuss the World Environment Day. So the first thing is focusing on rebuilding the existing institutions, bringing in more feedback and accountability across the different institutions and have a supportive voice being heard. The second is institutions which would reflect the real need of the new India. Now this is not just the functioning but even the ineffective institutions that are working, how to combat the issues of air pollution, water pollution, strengthening the local bodies and empowering the people managing the funds and the schemes. The next is designing development schemes. That means how we re-engineer and redesign. Let's say we talk about the Amrit scheme for urban rejuvenation. We also need to focus on schemes for combating issues related to pollution, urban heat island issues, bringing in resource and capital intensive ways for clean and affordable energy solutions. Then the next important issue that we would address is climate change. With rising temperatures and more of pollution being into the atmosphere, we have seen climate change becomes an important aspect, and throughout the globe countries have been focusing on this issue, and India is one of the countries which is worst hit because of climate change. We have seen series of high heat waves in the country, extreme weather patterns, erratic monsoon conditions, erratic flooding conditions in many part of the countries, and these have also led to climate driven migratory patterns, migration of people from one region to another. It could be because of floods, it could be because of drought, it could even trigger conflicts within the nation and the boundaries. The next important topic under climate change is transition to energy. We are on a pace to move from fossil fuel energy base to a renewable source of energy. Now renewable source of energy, if we talk about solar and wind, both of them are not highly predictable. So a hybrid version of solar and wind could be a beneficial way out. Also tidal energy, if can be developed affordably and sustainably, can be a very predictable solution for renewable energy, and we have covered a separate case study on types of tidal turbines. Must cover for your upcoming mains examination for case study purpose. So India's capacity for energy generation, non-fossil fuel contribution to the total energy generation has been discussed here. And therefore, we now have a plan for decarbonization. That means we are trying to expand our economy to 8 times the current of the size, and therefore we require ways and efforts to decarbonize, and what could be our planning methodology for the same becomes really important. To build a climate resilient nation, we definitely need to have a lot of funds and lot of impacts that are being caused because of the climate change to be addressed in this issue. And what are the budget allocations under the National Adaptive Fund on Climate Change? Adaptation fund on climate change is really important, and this can be part of your answer writing in your main. So you must be familiar with certain data for budgetary adaptations as well. Now, addressing the geopolitical issue. Now, when we talk about the resources, we see that the rare earth metals are mainly coming from China. India is one of the largest consumers, we could say, for the solar energy. We have established a huge amount of solar panels, but again, the rare earth metal for the solar paneling comes from China. Now, when we have a shortage of material within the nation, what we rely on is imports. Again, a good way out could be within 20 to 25 years, these existing solar panels would deteriorate and we need to have new panels being established. So what we can do is we can have a solar waste management system where all this waste could be collected and these rare earth metals could be recycled for our next solar plant. So mechanisms like those could be effective. Even Europe has empowered the European Union carbon border adjustment mechanism that would harm India's trade competitiveness because it would put a cap on imports from countries which are carbon polluting, mainly for iron, steel and aluminium. Those are carbon intensive goods and these are supplied in huge quantity from India to European Union. So again, we would have to have a mechanism to fight with these issues, right? The next is renewable sources of energy. Now, renewable sources of energy, the huge amount of energies we have discussed, but one major that goes in is the compressed biogas. Now, compressed biogas is an alternative under the SASTA scheme, which is the sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation, and many of the vehicles are now running on compressed biogas. It can offer a cleaner solution and can be derived from agricultural residue and solid waste. So, what can be a mechanism for the same has been important. Even RBI is putting good lending investments for CBG or compressed biogas to become operational. Solar energy, as we can already see, is a very high contribution, has a very high contribution in India's renewable sector, has grown from 0.4% to 6.5%. Kochi airport has become a 100% solar powered airport. Similar developments have been seen in other states, and states like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh have contributed to nearly 80% of the wind installments. Again, wind energy, the contribution is around 32% for the total renewable energy being produced comes from wind energy, which is equivalent to around 45 gigawatts. We do have a potential to generate up to 700 gigawatts of wind energy. Inox Winds is one of the major companies working for the same. And then we have seen that over the years, wind generation has increased. But again, as we have seen before, wind is not a 100% predictable way like the tidal energy. So even focusing on tidal energy and prioritizing projects accordingly is a big way out for developing and promoting renewable sources of energy across India. And then linking the energy which is being generated to the discoms to reduce the delays and the inefficiencies becomes important. The next is food systems, fix our foods. Now the chemical resilient agriculture has been one of the major ideas, and prioritizing the antimicrobial resistance aspect has been one of the major issues. So there have been prohibition on the import of specific spices from India, which has been detected with the content of ethylene oxide. Now ethylene oxide is a carcinogenic pesticide and it is being used mainly in the containers which have been shipped abroad from India in order to maintain the shelf life and reduce the damage to the spices in the foreign market. Now this has come into line recently and this practice has been considered as inappropriate. Efforts have been taken to have cognizant ways out to develop and transfer spices from one region to another and maintain the shelf life as well. Now again, rice culture, we have talked about the rice system for intensification. This was also a question in your 2023 examination. Reducing gas emissions again becomes important, and dairy. So alternate wetting and drying system of rice intensification are some of the ways to address the water management and even the carbon management content, and these have been discussed previously as well. Also, unhealthy foods were in news. ICMR's recent guidelines about sugary food and fatty foods have been given, and under that even the baby food formula has been found with addictively high level of sugars, which is unhealthy and considered as junk. So packed food, labeling the packed food, the nutritional values of the packed foods becomes important. Also many of the celebrities from entertainment and sports are promoting these products, so these should be taken into light very carefully, and the lex regulations which are there should be addressed. The next is misuse and overuse of antibiotics. We have been focusing a lot through antimicrobial resistance over the series of lectures under Down to Earth edition itself, and this crisis can potentially lead to death of nearly 50 million individuals annually by 2050 if not controlled. So like other nations, we are now trying to have an action plan where antibiotics cannot be available over the counter without a prescription dose, and also the promoters of these have to be checked. So the availability of antibiotics even in animal feed is very dangerous, so that has to be taken into account carefully. The next is the fresh deal has been proposed for farmers. Now what could be the way out to have a proper contribution for the national GDP becomes important even in the period of economic downturn. So what can be the possibility out there has been discussed, and agriculture as a developing economic sector needs to be taken into account. The next is mobility. When we are talking about the various solutions, public transportation and transportation systems with clean, affordable, well integrated, accessible transportation system becomes an important aspect. So promoting CBG buses, promoting CNG buses, biodiesel fuel are some of those, and then carpooling, better public transport systems could be part of it, so that would reduce the carbon emission and harmful pollutants which are into the atmosphere. And there are various energy consumption statistics which have been given, which would be available in the handouts. You can just go through it. And then reducing the mean congestion for the cars is again important, because we have seen since 2000 the new vehicles have been doubled. The registration has been doubling every 5 to 6 years. That means with so many new vehicles on road, there has to be ways to decongest the vehicle and decongest the traffic. And what could be the steps forward for it? Working on the concept of electric buses, electric auto rickshaws is one of the ways. And then metro ridership. So we have introduced metro projects across major metropolitan cities in India, where through the metro transportation system that's similar to the local trains in Mumbai, the system has been devised, but the major problem is a single corridor which lacks interconnectivity and is not at frequent speeds. Now this again is reflected with less number of people using the transport system, and therefore there is fall of short of rides, and therefore the project runs into losses. So again, if the project runs into losses, the journey becomes expensive for an individual and the individual would not use it, and again the project would go into losses. So it's a kind of vicious cycle. To get out of it, we need to have better connectivity and better spacing between the metro trains which are running. Also, walking and cycling are some of the ways which have been propounded under Smart City missions and Cycle for Change Challenge initiative which has been given. Even moving to metro stations through walking or cycling has been promoted. Restraining the use of personal vehicles, but for that again public transportation has to be very profound. The next important aspect that we would discuss is biodiversity. Now Biodiversity Act 2002 we have covered in a separate lecture, so you can go back and refer that. But for that, community awareness and various manifestos have to be taken into account. Also we have recently adopted what is known as the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, which is known as the Biodiversity Knowledge Action Plan for protection of environment for local communities and bringing in a change as required. Now this would include greener localities, preserving wildlife, conserving the natural resources, conserving the traditional knowledge systems of India, and even the political parties have been working for the manifesto for promoting ecosystem, flora and fauna of the region. The next is waste and the solutions for the waste. Now waste, dumping of the garbage has been one of the major initiatives that was under Swachh Bharat, and there were visual cleanliness impacts, waste to wealth idea which was demonstrated. So what we need to have is there should not be any false solutions. We should prioritize segregation and proper treatment. It could be incineration, it could be recycling, it could be in any form, but we have to discourage the dumping. The next is air pollution. Now under air pollution we talk about various aspects of the pollution level for PM 2.5, PM 10. The goal is to reduce the particulate matter concentration across the countries. The various various countries across the globe have been working for it, and the various cities have been identified for checking out the right metrics, air quality, what could be the concepts to curb it. For example, polluter must pay principle should be applied, and sectoral targets should be focused. The next is industries. Now, under industries, we need to reassess the pollution being caused, how we can strengthen the state pollution control boards, how we can decarbonize most of the sector, bring in cleaner power, and have a sustainable infrastructure. Again, sanitation is one of the issues where researchers have been brought talking about liquid and solid waste management. So schemes like Swachh Bharat Mission, Jal Jeevan Mission, Amrit Sarovar, Atal Mission for Rejuvenation, the Clean Ganga Mission are some of those. Then there have been researchers talking about the positive and the negative outcomes under sustainable development. We are also talking about Swachh Bharat Mission, where we are talking about building toilets and honey pit common structures, the discharge wastewater management, and the sustainable source of water under the Jal Jeevan Mission are some of the important aspects which have been developed for waste water and sanitation. Now, recharging the groundwater is again an important initiative which has been seen under the Amrit Sarovar scheme, and how we can safeguard that scheme. The next is the habitat. Now, cleaner, greener and bluer spaces to be developed. Greener for more trees, bluer for more water bodies, as simple as that. So those are the steps which have been taken for building a potential urban area. Miyawaki forest system is again an urban forest canopy system which has been developed. Thermal comfort and reducing the urban heat island impact is another important aspect. Sarvodaya Yojana has been adopted for more solar energy, for electric vehicle charging stations, open parking lots and open spaces. Construction and demolition waste guidelines have been issued in 2016, and there have been progress on various recycling plants which has been done. Then is the housing support system, housing for all initiatives. Now, there are technological innovations, sustainable and greener technological developments which have been part of it. The next is cities and heat management. Now, as we said, urban heat island is one of the major parts of concern across the globe, and cities have been fighting with this issue not only in India but globally. Sustainable Habitat 2.0 is one such effort from India to develop bylaws for developing the city and resilient infrastructure. Now, some of the action points for climate awareness includes bringing in issues related to climate change, renewable energy as we have discussed, air pollution, focusing on industry, waste, water sanitation, habitat, waste to wealth concept that we have discussed, maintaining biodiversity, mobility and food systems. So that's a quick summary of what we have discussed today. So bringing in proper legislations, reducing the lax in regulations are some of the ways in which this can be strengthened. Thanks for joining in, and we are covering Yojana Kurukshetra and Down to Earth on a regular basis. Stay subscribed.